Welcome back to another episode of the Dale Hollow Lake podcast, where we give you the down low on all things Dale Hollow. This week, we've got a pretty awesome episode. We're going to be talking about all things of life on the dock, behind the scenes worker stuff, the stuff that people don't see whenever they're down here on vacation. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about Bailey a little bit, how he got the job on the dock, how long he's been here, some of the things that he's learned about pretty much life on the lake, life on the dock. We've got this new episode or series that we want to try to do. Really, we want to talk about all things, behind the scenes on the water, what it's like working on the dock. Then also, we want to talk about some fails. Everybody loves lake fails, funny stories. So we really want some people to send in their funny stories, their fails, just stuff that they've seen on the lake that they talk about. Everybody's got that story that they talk about sitting around the fire and that just makes everybody laugh. So we want you to send in that story, whether it's a video. You can send us a video on Facebook, on the Dale Hollow Lake Podcast Facebook. You can send us a note on there, and we're going to read them blindly. We're not going to know what the story is or the video, and our producer is going to give them to us, and we're just going to read them blindly. We're not going to know, and we're just going to commentate about them. We're going to laugh at them, make fun of them, or just kind of talk about them. But we've got Bailey on the show today. Bailey, we kind of want to talk about yourself a little bit, how you got started working on the lake, how long you've been doing it, kind of what you've learned.
Yeah, so I've been working on the lake probably 4 to 5 years at this point. Yeah. I think I started with y'all when I was sophomore in high school. Really came on thinking it was going to be like a super easy job. You hang out on the lake, you gas up some boats, get some tips, stuff like that. Not a hard job at all. And it's kind of a reality check. That's not what it is. Yeah. It's still great. Like you still spend every day on the lake. It's still awesome. But it's a lot more than just sitting on your butt and watching the lake all day.
It's more than just getting a nice tan, farmer's tan, sitting on the gas dock, pumping some gas. We kind of do everything, don't we?
Yeah. Anything and everything, honestly.
Yeah. So, let's get into that a little bit. I guess what it's like working at this marina. All marinas, I guess, are a little bit different. We're a pretty small marina. When we hire you, we want you to do everything. We can't pay people just sit on the gas dock all day. As much as that'd be awesome. People be pretty mad if they got hired, or if somebody got hired and they got to sit on the gas dock all day, but the other person had to clean boats and stuff all day. So we do everything. Yeah. Some of these bigger marinas, they are busy enough where they can hire people to do that, but we're not. So we kind of got to do everything a little bit. We see some pretty crazy stuff too, don't we?
Yeah. A lot more than you would expect.
Yeah. So we'll get into that a little bit more. Hopefully we'll think of some stuff for some other episodes, just some stuff that we've seen on the dock. Everybody loves a drama.
Yeah, everybody loves that good lake video you see of someone being stupid.
Yeah. If you hear us talk about you, we won't say any names. Maybe. Yeah. I guess depending on how dumb it is. But we don't want to target anybody on this episode. It's just kind of the stuff that we've seen, maybe some do's and some don'ts. But really the big thing that we want to talk about in this episode, is that time of year where marinas are starting to hire people. So, what can you expect whenever you start or whenever you get hired at a marina? We kind of want to talk about what you can expect and also what we like to see in dock workers, because we have seen a lot of them. We have had some that we love. We've had some that we've really not liked very much. So I guess kind of, what do you like to see in a dock worker?
Well, I'm gonna start from a different angle. I'm gonna say what I thought you guys were wanting when I started.
Yeah.
I thought you would want someone who's always ready to work, so much as not ready to do everything, but is just willing to be there, willing to put in some work. And it is for the most part, but you're looking for someone who wants to know about every little thing, not to the minute details, but wants to know how to work on, say, a houseboat, how to drive the different boats, what to do in and out of the houseboats, on the dock instead of just the houseboats. There's more on dock experience than you think, between moving tiles or maybe you're doing a little bit of construction here and there.
Loading up houseboats,
Oh, yeah.
pumping gas, cleaning boats, as much as, I guess, helping people figure out how to fix their boats.
Mm-hmm.
We don't rely on that much, I guess, on new people, but kill switches and their boat not in neutral.
Mm-hmm.
People forget that more than you would think.
Yes. And it's picking up on the little things like that and just being willing to learn.
Yeah.
It's probably the takeaway from that, I would say, is being open to learn and willing to learn.
Yeah.
That's going to be your number one best friend and wanting to start working in a marina.
And questions, lots.
Lots and lots of questions.
Lots.
Maybe not lots of easy questions, but if you don't understand something, do not hesitate to ask. Like 100% go to someone, hire someone who knows, someone who's been there, and ask. And they're going to be more than willing to help you.
Yeah, because you don't want somebody to just think that they know, come into this job, think that they know it, and screw it up and hurt somebody or break something. I'd rather them ask a possibly stupid question, than screw something up pretty bad. Because that's, it's not all peaches and roses on the lake. No. When one little thing goes wrong, I mean, it's just a reaction throughout the whole day.
Yeah. And even if it is one little stupid question, quote unquote stupid question, you just ask it that one time and you're good. Yeah. And you might feel dumb for asking it, but then you're good. You never have to ask it again.
And whoever you're working with, who you ask the question, might give you a stupid answer.
There's a good chance. There's a very good chance.
But it's better to ask a question that, that we may think is an easy question than, hurt somebody or break something. We've been on the lake pretty much our whole lives. So what comes easy to us or what we think is common sense is not always common sense, because we've got some 16-year-olds coming in here that have never worked before and never been on the boat learning this stuff. And it's a lot.
Yeah. Some of them, I know we've got one guy in particular, he came in, he really didn't say a whole lot his first year. Always worked, always did what you asked. He might have been a little slower, but he always was willing to put in the work and he would listen to you. Yeah. And now I'm thinking we're coming up on his second or third year. Yeah. And he's great. He knows everything. He'll be vocal with you and it's awesome.
Yeah. It's like one day it just clicks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get somebody that's 16, 17 years old that is willing to learn, might take a little bit more time if they've never had another job before to learn. But man, if you can get it just to click one day, I mean, it's awesome. It is great. Definitely, they come back summer after summer after summer. That's when we need people. And it makes it nice, April, May come around whenever we already have a dock team that's full. We're not trying to train new people.
You don't even have that second thought of, oh, I wonder if they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
They know what they're going to do. They know what they're expected to do, and they're going to do it.
Yeah. And we know what to expect from them. Even if they're not the most perfect dockhand, I mean, nobody's the perfect dockhand, but except maybe us, but
no, we both have our flaws.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We've got a couple fails. We want to get into this segment where we talk about fails, and we want to roast each other about our fails. Yeah, we can roast each other. We'll stick around for the roast. Yeah. But gosh, I don't know where I was anymore.
I really don't either. I think it was not everyone's perfect.
Yeah.
Not everyone's a perfect worker, but you know what you're going to expect from that person.
Oh yeah. Like returning people, whenever they come back to workforce, we know what to expect, kind of like their flaws, I guess. But man, if you can show up to work on time and you don't complain, I mean that, and you're just willing to do it without complaining. I mean that's nice.
It goes far away.
And a boating license.
Yes, a boating license is going to help you a lot if you want to work on a dock.
Yeah, not only us, but you too. It makes work so much more fun. I mean,
you're not cooped up on the dock the entire day.
Yeah. If you don't like cleaning houseboats that much, get your boating license. We help people tie up the houseboats. We have to go pick people up on houseboats. We have to, sometimes go tow boats in. And if you have a boating license, not only do you get more tips that way, but you also get to go play on the lake.
And you get to have small talk with random people you never would before.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably one of our favorite parts is meeting people.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though there are some people you maybe don't want to meet, but we love meeting people. We have a lot of people that come in from out of town, and we just like talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if we weren't working, we'd probably talk a whole lot longer than.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a little carried away.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little carried away, and it's like, man, I better get back to work,
Mm-hmm.
or you're not gonna get it done. But so new workers, you need to be a little independent, I guess. A little bit of a problem solving, but also you don't be afraid to ask some questions and get that boating license so you get some nice tips.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a boating license, you get a little bit more. You get some tips too. You can pump some gas, help people load up some ice, but really getting that boating license, that helps you get a whole lot more money.
And there's a big thing that we do too, where we load up houseboats for people.
Yeah.
So if you have your boat license, we have basically a barge that you can drive over and load people
Mm-hmm.
up with. And that's a killer for one, not killing time, but getting to talk to people and also possibly making a really good tip. It's all around a boating license is going to help you in the long run.
Yeah. We've had people, just hand out $100 bills and literally have had people throw money off of a boat, into the water.
Yep.
We've been down on our hands and knees off the gas dock pulling money out. They had a really good time that day, but they were just throwing money out. And we were just grabbing it.
Yes.
So you see a whole lot of stuff on the dock, but it's not always peaches and roses. We've got some pretty funny stories and just some stuff that
it doesn't always.
It's just stuff.
Planned. Yeah, it doesn't go as planned at all.
We call Memorial Day, Labor Day, 100 days of hell. I mean, it's 5, 6, sometimes 7 days of work.
Mm-hmm.
It's 7 in the morning, sometimes after 7 o'clock at night. I mean, you never know what's going to happen at the marina. But if you're interested in working at a dock, highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. As much work as it is, I mean, we have a great time.
Because you're still working on the lake.
Oh yeah.
As stressful as the day can get down here, you're still working on the lake.
Oh yeah. So I mean, we've got the best view.
Oh, by far.
I mean,
no one else can come in to work every single day and say they get to work on the lake.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
We got sunshine, water, boats.
What more do you need?
Yeah, stuff lakes have.
Yes. Yes.
But get into some fails or just boating funnies, I guess. Everybody screws up. Everybody has that day where it's just like you hang your head in shame.
Yes.
Whether you're watching somebody else and hang your head for them or
it's you.
Yeah, or it's you. So hopefully it's the other person, but we've been around long enough where we've all screwed up. We don't really like talking about it. That's why we both have a fail that we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about each other's fails. Yes. We're just going to roast them.
Yes, absolutely.
You want to start?
Oh, absolutely. I want to start. So this is kind of the segment we're wanting to start, where if you guys want to send in videos, or if the listeners want to send in videos, or even just like funny stories, you can send them into us, and we're going to go into fail videos. Basically, we're going to like blind react to them and go into it. So for an example, the first one I want to start off with is Nathan over here was going to gas up a boat. It was not a yacht, but it was a bigger like cabin cruiser. You could sleep in it. There was a sink in it. It had fresh water. So there's a place to fill up your fresh water, and it's labeled fresh water. Nathan started to fill it up with gas.
14 years or 13 years, I have never done that before.
But he did.
But I did. In my defense, somebody decided to put the gas at the back of the boat. I mean, the water at the back of the boat, and the water at the back of the boat, and the fresh water in the middle of the boat. They switched it up on us.
Yes, but it still said fresh water.
But it did say that. Not saying I was wrong.
Yes. I'd say that's one of my proudest moments. It's like I didn't have to do it. Like I knew that happened, and it was great. Like I could just make fun of you. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I felt bad. I felt like an idiot for a long time, but I will never do it again.
The best part was after it had happened, and at like 10:30 at night, we had pulled the guy's boat out and had to flush it out completely because you can't have gas in the fresh water.
Luckily, we caught it really, really quickly. And it was a pretty accessible tank where we could flush it out pretty easy. But that little bit of gas, I mean, it's hard. We never turned on any of the pumps, so it never went through the pumps. It had a drain on the tank where we could flush it out, but a lot of soap. A lot of soap and a lot of fresh water. And it was a small tank. It wasn't a big giant cabin cruiser that had a 100-gallon or 150-gallon or possibly 200-gallon freshwater tank. It was just a little boat with like one sink on it. I think it had probably like a 10-gallon tank, if that. So
it wasn't big, but it was funny.
It could have been way worse, but I learned my lesson. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think that's good how to start it off. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You want to roast me now?
Yeah, this one was good. So we haven't talked very much about how Bailey got his job. He's been here for 4 or 5 years. His first couple weeks was a little rocky. We didn't know how he was going to. We didn't know if he was going to last. I mean, honestly, we really didn't. But he proved us wrong, like most employees that we don't think are going to last prove us wrong. But he applied for his job. He came in on his first day. He didn't show up for his second day because I guess supposedly we're supposed to show new employees where the schedule is.
Yes, you are, because I don't know.
But also new employees, I think, should ask where the schedule is or when we want them back.
New employees are also terrified.
This is a little bit more than just roasting on his one fail, I guess. But so there was that, and then a couple days after we hired him, he did show up with a whole like notebook sheet of paper with all the days that he needed off during the summer, and yeah, he got those days off.
Yes,
I mean, he had a good reason, but he made sure that he got the job before he told us what days he needed off. But his boat failed. So when he started, we don't rent them anymore, but we were in some jet skis. We had some Yamaha Wave Runners. And when you started working here, were they like 2 years old, 3 years old?
They were fairly new. Yeah.
I mean,
they were like 2 years old.
Yeah, I mean, they were in good shape. They were really nice. Well, he wanted to take him and his girlfriend, now his fiance, on a jet ski ride. And we're like, yeah, sure. You know the lake. Take them out on jet ski. That's one of the perks you get working here.
Yeah,
is if you
have your boating license.
If you have your boating license, another perk.
Yes.
And the boat is not rented, we do let you take it out as long as we trust you and it has to be back before dark. But he took out a jet ski. A little bit later, he comes putzing in the jet ski really, really slow. And he's like, I messed it up. His girlfriend went straight to the Jeep. Did not even want to be seen. I mean, just left. I guess on his way back, you kind of want to talk about, I mean, you thought you were getting fired.
Oh, like it was a good, so the ride out wasn't long. The ride out on the jet ski probably took 10 minutes max. Like it was not a far away. On the ride back, well, we had stopped and swimmed. So like got off the jet ski and didn't tie it off, was just letting it like hover around. It was fine. And then every time I've got off the boat and you were going to swim, you'd put like the bow of it up on the shore so it doesn't go anywhere. So I pushed it on shore. You don't do that with jet skis because it'll get into the jet drive. And I did not know that. So we started up the jet ski to come back. And it was in safety mode because it was full of sticks and leaves. So we drove back for a good 45 minutes going 2 miles an hour on a very fast jet ski. And the entire way back, I was not shaking, but very scared, talking about how I just got my job and I'm going to lose it. Like I'm 100% going to get fired. And
it was on a little thin ice already, too.
Yes, it did not start off well. And then as soon as we got back to the dock, like instantly head down in shame. Like you said, my girlfriend just went straight to the Jeep, didn't say a word. Came up to him and was like, I think I messed up the jet ski. Like, I think I broke it bad.
Well, luckily, we had some jet ski lifts. He pulled up on the jet ski lift. Everything was fine. I was like, I'll take out for a test drive. I think it was me that took out for a test drive. I was like, I'll see what's wrong with it. I'll see if I can, maybe blow out the debris or, if something got stuck, just blow it out. Hopefully it's just an easy fix. That is pretty common on some jet skis. Took it out. It ran perfectly fine. But when I came back to put the jet ski up on the lift, you could see all the leaves and stuff that had fallen out on it whenever we pulled it out of the water on the lift. So that was kind of his fail. I mean,
3 fails.
Yeah, 3 fails. I'm sorry. You can roast me a little more if you think of something.
I'll be thinking.
Yeah. See, it's a little harder for him to think of something else. But no. But luckily, nothing got broken. Nobody got hurt. But we laugh about it. I mean,
my pride was pretty hurt. I don't know.
Yeah.
About that. Yeah, I was pretty sure.
I'd rather suck some crap up into a jet ski than put gas or water or gas.
Oh, absolutely. I would do it again 2 times over.
Yeah. So, but I had been working here for a few weeks, so I'm sorry.
It's also true.
But we have all had fails. We've all screwed up. We all have stuff that's, just funny to look back on. So if you have got a funny story, it doesn't have to be a fail, just something funny, something that, is a fluke or something that's happened on the lake. Maybe if you jumped off a cliff and didn't land right, or, maybe have a picture with it. We'd love to look at it, I guess you say dissect it.
Yeah.
Kind of,
I guess.
Yeah, I guess, kind of make fun of it, laugh about it. We'd love for you to send that in. We'd give us some content.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna blind react to it. Like, we're not gonna know what it is beforehand. Our quote unquote producer is gonna get all the videos or the stories or the images, and it's the first time we will see it is when we're gonna react to it. Can you tell them where to send it out?
Yeah, so you're gonna send it. We've got a Facebook page. It's called the Dale Hollow Lake Podcast. You can just look us up on Facebook. You can send it there. I think that's really the only place you can send it. If you want to send it to a personal Facebook, I'm Nathan DeVries. You can send it to me, I guess, but then I'd read it. So I guess that doesn't really make sense.
Don't send it to Nathan.
Don't send it to me.
Send it to the podcast Facebook.
Yeah, send it to the podcast Facebook. That's the best way to do it. You can send it to the Eastport Marina email, I guess, which is eastport@twlakes.net. Yeah, I guess that'd probably work.
Send it to the podcast.
Send it to the podcast.
Yeah, send it to the podcast.
Not everybody's got Facebook, though.
Send it to the podcast. That's going to be your best bet.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So if you can't figure that out, it's probably not that big of a deal, I guess. Yeah. So
it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
I did it. I think we did pretty good for our first episode. I really don't know how long this episode was, but I thought we did pretty good. So should we just end it off there?
Yeah. And then depending on how many send-ins we get, it'll depend on how long the next video is, honestly.
Yeah.
The next podcast.
Yeah. And we'll be thinking of some funny stuff. We'll think of our own fails, or I don't really like talking crap about each other. So maybe not our own fails, but stuff that we've seen on the lake. Okay. I like talking about him, but I don't like him talking about me. So probably same for him. But we'll talk about some stuff that's happened on the lake. Maybe give a little bit more insight of what it's like, as a new person working at the marina, and drama. People love the drama.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and end this episode right here. We'll be back another episode. I don't know exactly when we're going to film I guess I don't know if you call it a sequel or
a follow-up.
Yeah, follow-up on this, but we want to make this a pretty big thing. We're pretty excited for this series. We think it'd be pretty funny. So give us a like on Facebook, send us your stories, and as always, thank you for listening, and we will see you again next time. Thanks, Bailey.
Light beer.
How was that?
That was so good.
How long was that?
I need absolute silence while I get into character, please. Working 9 to 5. We turned it on pretty good right there.
Okay.
All things dock workers.
That's bad.
I'm going to the Jeep.